Hello and welcome to another issue, episode, whatever you want to call it, of the Husky by Boo podcast. This is your said Husky by Boo Ariel. Hoping that you have had a well week, a decent week. The nightmare of the overgrown orange Oompa Loompa POS is over. Yet I see people on the internet still find a way to talk about his overgrown giant ass, even though he has been gone since Wednesday. And now everything is going to be magically restored back to order because it was only the fault of one man and one man alone. That was a pause for water. What else can we talk about? Just a cold intro. The Undertaker buried. That's the takeaway people got, by the way, on the Joe Rogan Experience. The Undertaker, as some of you know, has retired. And he retired earlier last year. And his last match was versus AJ Styles and WrestleMania. Last year was a cinematic match. And that was his last match until Saudi government decides to add extra zeros to that paycheck and will make his mouth water to the chance of actually wrestling for them. That's a joke. Not really, but a joke nonetheless. Sugar water. And a lot of people are kind of a little butthurt of the comments that The Undertaker did on the Joe Rogan podcast because he said that among many, many things that he said, and I actually watched the podcast from top to bottom, do have Spotify, I saw that he criticized the current product of the WWE, calling it soft, and I don't know what people got mad about there, because with the exception of SmackDown and even NXT, Raw is horrible. It's horrifying to watch. This is not normally the wrestling podcast that I do. It's the SmackDown podcast, but that's been taking a hiatus now because everybody is going to PTSD with the corona and isolation and shit. So I kind of understand it, but this is my little venue of where I spew my thoughts and shit and say my piece. So I'm keeping my side of the bargain, which is doing my podcast. And since we're not talking on the normally scheduled wrestling podcast, I'm doing it here. So I'm talking about what The Undertaker said, and he said that the product is soft. And is he lying? No. It's true. Product's soft as fuck. It's very soft. And boring as hell, I would add. And mind-numbing. And I never had a sensation which I wanted to rip my eyeballs from my hand with my bare hands. The only other exception I remember is actually going to the theaters and watching Batman and Robin for the first time on a date, mind you. Yes, I am old, by the way, if you want to make the comments. Yes, I was a teenager. It was back in 1997, and I was, what was it, 19? Yeah, 19, I guess. I was 19, and we were on a double date, if memory recalls, and I wouldn't even call it a date because let's spare the comedy in the comedy elements on that end, and let's just say that I went accompanied to the movies to watch that aberration, that abomination, that a piece of shit movie, which still haunts me to this day. And I know there are people that like it for what it is. Oh, the campy stuff, kind of return to the 1960s Batman, only that he has a rubber suit. But there's a reason why George Clooney keeps a poster of that movie in his office, is to remind him not to do shit for money. Because, money, you can earn money doing more decent things and not doing pieces of shit movies like that one. Which, I mean, when, no offense to Schwarzenegger, but when Schwarzenegger is the best actor movie. Oh, how did we get there? The reason I didn't want to do video, probably wondering, I haven't done video for a while now. I tried to, but my face looks jet lagged as fuck. If you watch my face now, it would look like I haven't slept in months, and you'd be guessing correctly. I haven't had a good night of sleep in a while. Thanks to sleep apnea and a plethora of other conditions, which I don't have the time to discuss right now. Needless to say, health-wise, not good, but I'm alive and I'm pushing, and I saw WandaVision, the third episode. This long pause is for those of you who do not wish to be spoiled, because I tend to just say what I think and not giving a fuck about possible spoilers or plot points that might spill the beans. So if you're one of those that haven't watched it yet and do not want to be spoiled, listen away, go listen to something else, or just skip a few minutes here and there and then come back. Or if you don't give a shit and you haven't watched it, come along. This is the episode that mostly brings about the most revelation so far in terms of what the fuck is going on. Obviously, if you've been watching so far, Vision and Wanda, we still have no explanation how the fuck Vision is alive. We still have no understanding of how the fuck that is. But they're now all of a sudden in the 70s, and Wanda's pregnant. Well, that was a cliffhanger of the previous episode, but now she actually gives birth. Mind you, this episode is practically moments after the ending of episode 2. So she went from having a baby bump to just spitting out the kids in an episode in 30 minutes, basically, from what the viewer sees. Anyway, she gives birth to twins. I forget the names now. You're sacrilege. How could you? I'm not that kind of geek, and as I said, I'm very sleep deprived, so fuck you if you don't like it. The biggest revelation is that if you've been following the show, there's been a lady that has befriended, not the nosy neighbor, the one that has been always coming in around, but a black lady who's been trying to be befriending Wanda. She appeared mostly on episode 2, for the children, that committee and whatnot. And she had the logo on a necklace that represented the little helicopter thing that Wanda found on episode 1 or 2. I don't remember when she found that one. The thing is that alarmed Wanda. After Wanda already gave birth to the kids, and also this woman made reference to it because Wanda in a moment kind of remembered when she saw that she had twins. She said, "I'm a twin, and I had a brother. His name was Pietro." And that's when this lady, the black lady, says, "Oh, he was killed by Ultron, wasn't he?" And Wanda was like, "How the fuck do you know that? Because I thought we were playing along here." And also, it shows that they're kind of going through a Truman Show kind of thing. They're kind of going through a Truman. The main thing is that what you get on this episode is that they're basically going through the Truman Show. If you've seen the Truman Show, the movie with Jim Carrey, you already get the reference and you already understand. It's practically, basically that. They're in the Truman Show, and they are Mr. and Mrs. Truman. So, but things seem to be accelerating. But what's still not clear is if it's Wanda that's controlling the situation, or that she's being mind manipulated, or what the fuck is going on. but we still don't know with some questions. And the thing that we do know is that while this lady was talking to Wanda after Wanda had given birth to the twins, Vision is talking outside with the neighbors, and the neighbors are the ones that are kind of letting them know, like, things are not quite what they appear to be, and this woman is homeless. She doesn't have a house. So once this lady, the black lady, tries to spill the beans regarding the whole your brother was killed by Ultron thing, kind of makes Wanda a little cuckoo, and she is like sucked out of a vortex and sucked outside of the city, and she is kind of like being John Malkovich. There's a lot of movie references here. Yeah, kind of like remember when every time they escape being inside the head of John Malkovich. Spoilers for those of you who haven't watched Being John Malkovich, an old as fuck movie, but nonetheless, it's true. And when every time they are expelled from the mind of John Malkovich, they come out like outside of New Jersey. Someone to be shot out of a pipe in New Jersey somewhere. But in this case, the black lady is shot out on the actual city limits, and you can see the city limits outside, and then she is being greeted by a like agents from, it's what it seems like, a government agency. Right away catch her, and I don't know what the fuck happens after that. But the thing is that Cat's a little bit out of the bag now, and you can understand that both Vision and Wanda are kind of trapped in a sort of type of Truman Show type of deal, and I don't know. So that's the spoiler so far. So yeah, Vision and Wanda have kids. We still don't know how the fuck Vision is alive. Basically, I would put my money is that Wanda found a way when she was manipulating the stone, when she broke it before Thanos, reverse jumped the whole shit. Probably they stole some plans because remember Shuri was playing around. If you saw Infinity War, Shuri was playing around with Infinity Stone, seeing how she can keep the good parts of Vision. They probably hacked Shuri's shit and were able. I don't know. I'm speculating. So the thing is, the best prediction I can give you is that eventually they will let you know what's going to go on. Oh, there's my review of WandaVision, and sorry if I spoiled anything for you, but I did warn you. Another shrug of water. So, as I mentioned, the orange overgrown Oompa Loompa piece of shit has been removed off office by natural forces, and all of a sudden the rainbow has been set. Everything is right with the world. Now we can live freely, and there are no more problems because the biggest threat to the entire world has been eliminated magically by Weekend at Bernie's and the police officer taking office now and doing what they got to do to ensure that the United States will live on and persevere after these 4 fucking bleak years of darkness that was left by the orange overgrown Oompa Loompa piece of shit. That sounds good on paper, and believe me, I'm no Trump supporter by any stretch of the imagination. But yesterday, I listened to Joe Rogan. As you can imagine, I'm a very big Joe Rogan fan. Ever since I saw the first time Elon Musk was there and took a drag, that pretty much sealed the deal for me. I appreciate his long form format because that's the way you can really get to know a person. They're not very defensive. They state their mind. The only episode of Joe Rogan Experience that I had very difficult listening or watching was the Kanye one. I mean, I can only muster 5 minutes of it. And after that, I was like, nope. Nope. I mean, God bless Joe Rogan. He has the patience. He has an ungodly amount of patience to deal with people, and he doesn't judge people and whatnot. He accepts what they believe, and that's a good thing. That's a very, very, very good thing. So, kudos for Joe for doing that. But he had a guest the day that was the episode after the Undertaker, by the way. Tulsi Gabbard. You know, she was a congresswoman, a Democrat for Hawaii, and she talked the real shit that is going down on Capitol Hill, which is the shit that I've always suspected. That, you know, the problem is not blue or red. The problem is not the orange, overgrown, Oompa Loompa piece of shit. The problem is that corporations fill the buckets, fill the pockets of these motherfuckers that sit in Congress and make them, practically legally buy them to make laws in their favor. And right now, there is no actual agenda in order to make the country better. It's just that these motherfuckers who are in Congress take the money out of these fucking conglomerates, whether they come from China, Russia, whatever. It doesn't give a fuck as long as their beaks get wet, and they will follow the line of the party. The country matters shit to these fucking two groups. It's what the line of the party is and where the money comes from. And she talked openly about the bullshit. For example, there was a project in law that was going to help the American people while Trump was still in office. They told her, and she was openly in favor of it, because I believe, I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know the woman. I don't know her from Adam. I have no treating or whatsoever with the woman. But to me, she appears to be honest and sincere. And she has called people from her own party her bullshit, and from their other parties as well. For what I see, and for all intents and purposes, I see that this woman, Tulsi Gabbard, her intentions are pure and sincere in terms of getting the country in a better place. But she understands that it has to be bipartisan, that it's not just the Democrats that can do it. It's both sides, because we need everyone to be involved, not just one side and fuck the rest. Like this mentality that both sides have, mind you. And I don't know why the fuck I'm talking about this. I live in DR. I shouldn't give two drops of monkey piss about this subject. But nonetheless, I do, because it is the place I was born. It's a place where a lot of my family live. And I feel part of it because it is part of my inheritance. I mean, my idiosyncrasy, the way I am, my pop culture references, everything that I know came from the States. So I have a debt of gratitude. Plus, I was born there. I have their language. I speak the language. Although I don't live there, and I don't agree with it 180. I don't agree with everything that the states have gone through and what they have become via whatever the fuck you want to blame, what side. I don't give a shit. It's just that what it has become now, this calling out culture, making people feel like shit, making people be like shit, like pointing fingers at each other instead of working with each other, recognizing that yes, we all are a bunch of fuck ups. Yes, there's a lot of problems on all sides. Not just one side is the bad guy and the other guy is the good guy. We're all fucking bad guys. All of us, because this problem didn't come from one person. This problem came from all of us by just letting things be. And if we recognize the problems, we can do something about it. But we don't, and we just want to, live comfortably. That's a meme right there. Anyway, she confirmed that there was a law that was going to be beneficial for the country, but since since Trump could have looked good by doing this in the middle of the pandemic, the Democrats send a line to all of their constituents saying, "Don't follow suit. Don't let this law pass." So they put the interest of the party before the interest of the nation. That kind of confirmed. And believe me, the United States is not the only guilty thing of doing this. Like right now in the Dominican Republic, we had recently a change of government, both in Congress and in the presidency, and it's been predictable as fuck in terms of same old shit, even in some ways worse. They promised, they talked about a goddamn formula that was going to reduce the gasoline prices and whatnot. It actually quadrupled the prices of gas here, and everything is just blowing up. And also curfews of insane hours, like during work days you have curfew at 5 p.m. and on weekends at noon, 12 p.m. It is fucking bananas. The shit that, because they don't want people to contaminate. Yet when you go to social media here, and you go to the social media of the people in DR, and people like showing what the fuck is going on, you see that the rich people have no problem because they can just go to a villa, to La Romana, Casa de Campo. They go to the giant, private resorts that only allow rich people to go in there, and there's no curfews there. So they'll just live there and act like fuck the rest of the world. The poor people in the country are the ones that go outside and go buck wild, go fucking crazy, go hard in the paint, get their hookahs ready, get their fucking rums ready, get their fucking everything they gotta do, and go buck wild. While the middle class, well, not all the middle class, but some of the middle class are the ones that are staying locked up at home. I stay locked up at home not because I'm very respectful of the law. That's one of the reasons. The main reason is because I'm an antisocial prick. So I don't go out regardless. I don't go out. I don't like to go out. There's nothing to go out to, by the way. Anyway, there's nothing to go out to. Everything is fucking closed. So where the fuck am I going to go out? I only go out for necessary shit. For example, buy food for the house. That I go out. Go to church. Yes, because some churches are allowed to have service, and our church has to open, for example, on Sundays. I only go one day a week. We can only go one day a week. So the church was allowed to open, and our church opened. The church I congregate, not mine. I don't own it. But the church I congregate, motorcycle. See, there you go. When I was talking about the curfew shit, right now, as I'm recording, it's a Saturday, and free traffic ended at 3 p.m. and yet I am recording now at 8:30 p.m. and there was a motorcycle running around. Because fuck you, that's why. Anyway, as I was saying, the church opens at 9 a.m. That's beautiful hour to wake up on a Sunday morning, may I add. So, yeah. Oh, Lord Jesus Christ. Anyway, yeah, crazy things happening here in DR. I mean, at least they decided to change the curfew now. Starting next week, curfew will be during weekdays will be at 7 p.m. with free traffic till 11 p.m., which is, doable, decent. Thank God. But that means businesses have to be closed by 7 p.m. So no nighttime businesses. And during the weekend, the curfew is going to be at 5 p.m. with free traffic until 8 p.m., which is a little bit more lenient. But I really don't understand the reasons why these curfews have to be in place. Because people, if you watch the videos of what's going on here in DR, people are just going out anyway. I mean, this week, as I'm recording, the local baseball team, Las Águilas Ibaeñas, won the winter baseball championship. Our local baseball championship here. And you should have seen. I mean, the police were already waiting for people to go to the monument in Monumento. The police were there already waiting for people. Okay, so we'll just catch them here if shit happens. That was on Monday, if I recall correctly. Anyway, people didn't go there, but they went out in the streets to celebrate on a curfew. They went out. There's another vehicle there. As you can see, we're very law-abiding citizens. Anyway, this is all just to illustrate the fucking point, just to show you the fucking point that you can't legislate stupidity. You can't make law to prohibit stupidity. People are fucking dumb. Not generalizing, but you know what I mean. Like, how can you force law and order when people are just fucking buck wild here? Not everyone is buck wild, but there's a very giant group of people here that just simply do not give a fuck. They will go outside and they will do what they have to do. They will handle their fucking business, and that's none of their concern whether there's a law here that says that you will go to jail and you will have to pay 25 G's, Dominican G's, to get out of jail. They don't give a fuck. They'll stay there anyways. They do not give a fuck. So, I don't know what to tell you, man, of what laws. If you ask me what to do, throw away that fucking curfew shit and just reopen everything and have everything back to normal. That would be my option, because you can't stop contamination. You're just going to have to let people get sick of the thing. I'm sorry. And I just try to keep older folks safer. Older folks are not going to be buck wild going outside trying to get contaminated. I know the problem is that the youth might go visit their grandparents and then bring the fucking corona into them. And that's how the contamination can get worse and get worse for the old people. Just have plans how to protect older people. And the young ones, you know, once they get it, they'll be immune for a couple of weeks. Hopefully this vaccine will work. I am not one of these tinfoil hat motherfuckers that think that the vaccine is a sign of the devil. Holy shit. I gotta talk about this for a moment. I really gotta talk about this for a moment. Look, I believe in God. I believe there is a God. I will not enforce my belief on anyone else. If you want to talk about it in person, we'll talk about it. And I will tell you my point of view. You can tell me your point of view. We can agree to disagree. You can live your life as best of your abilities and see as you see fit. I will live it in the way I see it fit. And we'll leave it at that. Fine. Good. Excellent. Wonderful. Beautiful. The thing is, fuck, I can't, for the life of me, I cannot understand how the hell this happened, that believing in God and going buck wild religious automatically fills your head with the most asinine, goddamn stupid shit I've ever heard under God's green earth. Like, I unfortunately, and I'm not going to mention specifics, but I watch on, let's say on the internet, social media, whatever, and I'll leave it at that. I see things published by pseudo-religious Christian people claiming the most fucked up bullshit I have ever heard in my life, and they affirm this, the affirmation, like they have the evidence in their hand, and then they're just going by what another jackass said on the internet, which is taking someone's word. Like, when you are going to say something about a vaccine, if you're going to say something about a vaccine that is being prepared not only by the U.S. government, like every fucking big shot government in the world is working on a vaccine, because guess what? They don't want people to be locked up forever, because how the fuck are they going to be producing money with people not working? They need people to pay their fucking taxes, and how the people are going to fucking pay their taxes if they're not fucking working? They need people to work. So what the fuck is convenient for them? Get a fucking cure for this shit. Vaccinate people and have them work, going back to work, and have the fucking workflow back in order so that we can start making fucking money. Because the name of the game is fucking making money. So why the fuck would they make a fucking vaccine to kill people? It's like the most asinine, goddamn fucking stupid shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. Look, people, I know that believing in God gave us already an automatically big giant stretch of the imagination because it's a very difficult thing to grasp in a logical world. Like if you're talking logically, like trying to swallow the baby Jesus story, Mary being a virgin and giving birth to a kid, that is a tough fucking pill to swallow. Like, logically speaking, how the fuck will the Holy Spirit impregnate her? Explain that shit to me in a logical form. You can't. You can't. You can't. You can't. You can't. There is no fucking logical way to explain how a woman gets impregnated without a dude sticking his dick inside of her. I'm sorry. I mean, yes, there's artificial insemination, but let me guess. 2,000 years ago, I think that was not possible. 2,000 years ago. Now, you can get away with it because we have artificial insemination and whatnot. So, dude doesn't have to stab her with his dick in order to get her pregnant, and we can have pretty much the same story. But back then, little bit difficult to explain. So, I get where atheists go with that point. But that's not the point for me. My beliefs in God, withstanding the contradictional shit, which I cannot explain, and that's where, unfortunately, you're going to have to go to the leap of faith thing. And I know people don't like that, but unfortunately, that's the only way I can go from there. I just have to take God at his word for it. But there's some things that are very fucking difficult for me to swallow. Now, I will accept as a more logical conclusion that there is a God due to the fact that we're all here. And I know atheists try to explain their shit with, evolution and whatnot, but I've also listened to other scientists that are not necessarily Christian, that are not necessarily even believers. For example, there's one that doesn't even believe anything. He's agnostic. He can't affirm or deny that there is a God, but he just calls certain things on the atheist side bullshit. And that's the type of shit that I try to listen to because I'm trying to be objective as objective can be and not be indoctrinated on one side or another. So I tend to go to believe on there is a God. Okay, that's my personal view. That's my personal belief. And again, I don't enforce you or make you want to think that way. If you would think the opposite, kudos, good on you. You do you, fam. You do you. Fine. We can still be friends. Can we still be friends? We don't have to be dicks to each other just because we think differently, just because we're individuals. Can we be friends? Can we be individuals? Can we be people that treat each other with respect even though we have differences of opinion? Is that fucking possible in the 21st century? I don't know. But from my end, I will respect you and I will respect your opinion and let you have your peace and let you have your view and let you be in peace and not fuck you in the ass and tell you what a horrible human being just because you don't believe in God or don't believe in God. There's nothing to do with who you fucking are. Whether you believe in God or not doesn't make you a better person. It does not make you a better person. You are the one who make yourself good or bad by your actions and the way you speak to others. That's what makes you a good and better person. The way you treat others and how you speak to others. That's what the difference is, not what you believe in. And this bullshit that has been spewing the world now that apparently what you believe in is very important. And if you don't go to the program, you are now ostracized from society one way or another. This is fucking bullshit, in my opinion. I don't give a fuck what you believe in as long as you are a very decent human being and you treat others with dignity and respect. You are a good human being. I don't give a fuck if you believe in the Easter Bunny or don't believe in nothing. If you're a decent human being that treats others with respect, you are worthy to be called a decent human being. Now, whether you want to use the belief parameter to judge a person or not, that's on you. But I don't do that. In my personal view, at least I don't do that. So going back to this fucking vaccine theories, like people that have faith, please stop being so fucking gullible. You are fucking gullible. Stop being fucking gullible and believing everything you hear. Can you do research? Can you follow fucking research and fucking follow evidence and not just believe something just because a-hole number one said it? And a bunch of people just popping up on YouTube now and giving you like people that I love sending me shit personally. Sending me shit. What do you think about this video? I don't even respond. Because that doesn't even go through the dignity to even be considered to have a response to, because it is asinine, it is stupid, it is moronic. So, believers, please, let's use a little bit more brain and not just believe everything. Leave the faith department to God and reserve that for God. But God damn it, inform yourself. God damn it, find information out. Listen out. Go to neutral sources, not the people that talk the same language as you. Go to neutral sources, people that not necessarily on your side, but not on the other guy's side. And go there. Why? Because these are the people that have nothing to gain. These are the people that just want to go to do something that is obviously seems to be very fucking out of this world nonsense. Something that is almost incomprehensible at this day and age. You know what? They're trying to get truth. Truth. To be objective, to be honest, go honest to God, give you the honest to God truth. And that's what I'm fucking searching for. And I listen to neutral sources, people that doesn't have to necessarily kiss the ass of the right or the left. Okay? Because both sides are contaminated as fuck, and I hate this fucking divide that's happened now. I mean, years ago it used to be decent. It is amazing to me that DR has more tolerance. Dominican Republic has actually more tolerance for difference in opinions than the United States. You cannot say shit in the States anymore. You cannot say anything because you'll get canceled for fucking up, for being a human being. For being a fucking human being. Like, for example, this is an example, and let me iterate this as an example. Okay? Let's say, for example, I will trash the Batwoman series just because they're pushing their gay agenda. And what are you going to say? What gay agenda? Well, the producers are gay. They get paid by GLAAD, Warner Brothers does, to produce these shows, to push their fucking gay agenda. And look, the one Batwoman character in the comics, she is gay. Kate Kane, she is gay. Got no problem with her being gay. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Her being gay, fine. That's how the character is originally written. But what about all the fucking characters that they just retcon just to fit the fucking narrative, the new narrative now? For example, Alan Scott, original Green Lantern, made in the 1930s, gay. Now he's gay. Why? Reasons. Bobby Drake, original member of the X-Men, made in the 1960s, all of a sudden, a few years ago, gay. Why? Reasons. Like, retconning characters just to fit the fucking narrative, just to give, like, if you want a gay character, create a gay character. I have no problem with gay characters. It's a character, by the way. It's not real. It's not fucking real. So create as much gay characters as you want. But retconning a character that has been established for years and making him different just to fit your narrative is like, for example, DC made an alternate Superman. An alternate Superman from an alternate universe who is black. No problem. It's an alternate Superman. They didn't change the main Superman and made him black just to fit the narrative. It's just that they created another Superman. So you can make another, for example, I take back the Alan Scott example, because Alan Scott, that was another universe Alan Scott, and they made him gay. That's fine, okay. Alternate Alan Scott, gay, okay. And you can make an alternate Bobby Drake character gay, okay. But if you're talking a main continuity, main A character that for 50 years was straight as fuck, had girlfriends, was fucking around. Now, all of a sudden, gay. What the fuck? What the serious fuck? So you can't go with this example. By the way, end of the example. You can't use this example in the States anymore. By the way, I covered my ass by saying example, right? I covered my ass there saying example, but they'll just take away the part that they didn't like, and it'll be like, oh, you know what he said? He said you can't use gay character because the fuck it. The thing is, you can't say contradictory things now, and you have to follow the mold. If you don't follow the mold, you'll get canceled. In my case right now, the little example that I did right now, I don't know who gives a shit because nobody knows who the fuck I am. This is Schrodinger's podcast. Nobody, it exists and it doesn't exist at the same time because who the fuck listens to this shit? The thing is, I said my piece. I said my opinion. It's not a popular opinion. It's not going to be the best opinion. And people are going to be probably talking shit about me once they find this little gem out. And you know what? Goes with the punches. Flow with the punches. But I said my piece. I said my opinion. You can have gay characters. You can create gay characters. Do as you wish with them. But don't make them gay just for the sake of making them gay. Give the story some fucking understanding. Give the story some meaning. Why do we have to be gay? And don't just turn a character gay just because a multi-conglomerate gives you a bunch of money to make a character gay so that way gay people can feel accepted. Like, for example, what GLAAD is doing to Disney and to Marvel and to Warner Brothers. Because in case you haven't noticed, there's a reason why the gay agenda is being pushed so much in the government is because GLAAD, through Hollywood, is paying up the ass to the political side mostly, and obviously to the Democrat side, and making legislation just to have gay values more accepted worldwide and making it law. So, look, I have nothing against gay people living the way they want to live. I have nothing against gay people pursuing their happiness. And I will strongly object. Not strongly, I totally object to the idea of persecuting gay people just because they're gay. They have the right to have work. They have the right to live. They have the right to do whatever the hell they want, earn a living and make a living, and be in peace and harmony with themselves. The fact that they're gay has nothing to do with what they can do productively in the world. Having said all that, imposing by law their lifestyle into the rest of us, and that the rest of us has to follow suit just to please them, that's kind of tyrannical in my opinion. That's kind of imposing, if you will. Not my particular cup of tea. I'm not very fond of that kind of law binding shit. I'm not very particular about that. Like, okay, I understand that they have to have rights. I understand that they were very marginalized in the past and they were mistreated, even to the point that some of them even committed suicide. And it's a very sad thing and a very embarrassing thing. And a society that says, talks about peace and love and whatnot, very intolerant towards people that needed to be tolerated and accepted by society. And I understand all of that. But the moment that you try to enforce laws just so that a certain group can get ahead, that's wrong. The law should work for everyone. The law should be beneficial to everyone, not just a group. That's my opinion, at least. So I'm not against gay people having rights. What I am against is that gay people, in this case, this whole political shit that is going on, like making laws, imposing laws, in order for a certain group to get a benefit, get ahead of a benefit that other groups didn't. That I am very much against. So, and also making laws that, like, for example, that you can't talk about them, that is discrimination. Like, for example, I would be sure that if by any stretch of imagination I ever become something remotely called famous, they can grab this audio and automatically say, you're being discriminated towards the gay community. And I think I just said that I want them to succeed and be treated equally across the board like everyone else, and have the same shots and same opportunities, the same everything. Just be equal for everyone. To have the law beneficial for everyone, not just for a group. So yes, they can get whatever they want, but the moment that they try to catch someone for saying something that is against them and imposing a law onto another group, that I'm not a pro for. That I am not 100% behind that. I am not. Well, then I'm going to get canceled after this. I guess this would be the last podcast I ever record, because I probably pissed off the wrong people. Anywho, nobody listens to this shit, so who gives a fuck? Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, my YouTube channel. I will be posting this audio on the YouTubes. Also, like my TeePublic store, Las Águilas Cibaeñas recently won again their 22nd championship here in the island, currently tied with Tigres del Licey. I am not in this, back and forth thing with the fans of the Tigres del Licey. I am aguilucho, but that is a waste of time. If you would like to support me, t-shirt is there, buy it. They ship worldwide. The price is there, plus shipping and handling. So go help a brother out. Again, there's another curfew breaker. This has been the Husky Bible Podcast. This has been Ariel, and I'm hoping that you all had a great time listening to this. And sorry for the long-ass winded rants. Take care. Bye, guys.